education is very important, because a child growing without education is like somebody who is blind. I went into the slum to talk to people about where they'll spend their eternity. I got some Bibles to give to them to read. I found that they could not read. So it forced me to start a literacy class. From the mothers and some few men who could not read and write, I found out that even their kids cannot read and write. Most of the kids had gone to Kenyatta Market to find food there. They're getting into that spin and eating the remains of what people had eaten there. When I went there, I befriended them, and then I started really to cook for them. There, under a tree, I stayed for 6 months talking to the street children. After 6 months, I convinced them to come with me to Kibera, and that is how really the school started. I had like 2,000 kids, and one class had 100 kids. I didn't have desks. They used to sit on the boards that we used for our church.
Way back in 1983 is when I knew Mr. Mlehi. We went to the Bible College together. We've been married 40 years, working with the street children and needy children. I myself was a needy girl, and somebody came and supported me in Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, up to Form 4. So when I see somebody wanting to go to school, and they want to learn, I always feel good if I can help them. In all of this, I decided now, seeing them, they didn't know how to read and write, so I went and took a nursery school teaching, and when I came back, we were just singing and playing with them, and they never know that they were learning. So when they came to know how to read and write, they really liked the school.
I had already a house here, not really big. It could not cater for 200 kids. These kids continued to learn like that. So I started to look for some well-wishers, a good Samaritan here to rent for me a big blue house just behind here. I stayed in that blue house for 10 years. I wanted just them to know how to read and write, and that was all. But the most important thing beside that was to tell them about Jesus. Turn around and that's why we're here. Turn around and meet your neighbor, that's why we're here. Turn around and meet your neighbor, that's why we're here. We had a literacy class going on that was a voluntary job, people offering themselves to teach. I was not teaching that, mine was really to Tell children about how they can know Jesus Christ, even the parents.
Bishop Mlea has given many children in Kibera opportunity to study, to go to school. Men who are not paying anything, where can you get that? And even get food in school. I've seen a man who is so committed to serve God, with or without being paid to do what he's doing.
Calvary, being in Kibera, is a good thing because it helps students who live in Kibera, who do not have money to go to those big schools.
Most of the times we used to have visitors, and these visitors were well-wishers to us. Sometimes there was a well-wisher who brought us 50,000 shillings. We bought textbooks and the desks, and the school kicked off where we are.
Initially, I didn't know whether it will be a school because mine was just for a child to know how to read and write and end there. We have now a proper school. We are registered by the government of Kenya. We do the same examination.
The school has an ICT center. We call it a research center. The research center at the school has made education to be more efficient and fast. ICT provides the flexibility and availability of learning materials to all students. Our research center enables education to be more of a student-centered rather than the old-fashioned way, which was more of a teacher-centered. We incorporate the use of Wi-Fi at the school, and this has led to a paradigm shift, as we have noticed that the learners have become more interested in the various subjects taught in the school. Our area is a little bit squeezed, and the environment of Kibera itself is really not so good. Here at the school, we try to give these students the best learning experience by providing them with the best hygiene facilities.
Apart from the challenges that the environment is giving us, we also look at the bright future these learners can have if we really give all the energy that we have. So if all of us decided that this is a slum and we are not supposed to be here, then who will give back to this particular society, this slum?
Education is important, especially to a person coming up from the slums, because now once you have an educated individual, they can be able to tackle some of their problems on their own. And when we change one person, we can change the whole community.
Education is very important in shaping anybody's life. The learners that we have here, we don't only teach them paper knowledge. We also try to guide them. We also try to give them, guidance on how to handle things in life.
Education and religion go hand in hand. Religion, it helps some of these children to get opportunity to know Jesus Christ. Many of our children will go through school, so it gives opportunity to raise responsible men and women as citizens of this country.
So the high school started in 2009, and we had 12 students. Second term, there were only 2 girls. I looked and saw that there was a need for the food program so that others can come and join.
Food is so crucial. For a child, he can never continue to learn without food. We do this every day, from Monday to Friday.
This food is important for the students, for their well-being, and also for their nourishment. We discovered that most of our kids only take 1 meal per day at their homes. The kind of food that we serve at the kitchen is well balanced. We have seen a change, and we have been able to retain most of them at class.
And that is how we did hold those kids, because they needed the food.
My school has good facilities and there is food provided, and the food keeps me healthy.
In our school, we encourage people to conserve the environment and be clean. Wash their hands after visiting the latrines to avoid them getting sick. We also have trees that we have planted in our school. We use cans to plant our trees. We put the cans on our water tanks because there is where we have space and sunlight, which can be reached the cans easily.
Calvary School is going through many challenges, and these challenges are keeping the staff access to food. Because we have limited resources, we find that buying this food stuff is proving to become a challenge.
We have faced challenges. We needed, we need books, we need medical. You see, when a child is hurt here, or if they're sick, me as a pastor don't know what to do with them. I just put my hand on them and pray. But they need to see a doctor.
We have a library, but we don't have books. We like to have books.
Access to books is another challenge. Most of our kids here depends on the books that are provided here at the school. The school recently built a library, and we are planning to stock this library with books, and we are planning to have as many books as possible to serve the kids who are learning at Calvary School. But not only at Calvary School, we are planning to have this library to serve the community at large. If we find someone who is willing to donate, we have open arms.
The other thing that we really anticipate to do is to start skills. Those who leave school should learn a skill. So the skill side I have not really studied, but that is always in my heart. The kids that live here, all of them do not get employment. I see them around and that hurts my heart. I wish they learned something to become self-reliant.
Inavailability of resources is what actually makes it impossible to take these students to the next level. The curriculum that we have currently does not really guide our teachers to identify skills in a student. You have identified that a student can become a very good writer but then there are no resources to empower that particular skill in them. There are no books to read. We may only have the books that guide our syllabus and the books that may make them perform better in academics. But then that is not what we are supposed to focus on. We are supposed to focus on helping them to develop their skill and then build a career around that skill.
Being in Kibera, we find that the environment itself is a problem. We find that a lot of our kids or young people, they get exposed quickly to vices such as early pregnancies, high crime rates, and also we have drug abuse. So here at Calvary, we try to keep these children at school. Apart from the subjects that we teach them at class, we try to include some other aspects such as teaching them discipline. We teach them on a positive mindset. We teach them on proper attitudes. We teach them on good morals. And we also teach them on how to become better people in the society. Actually getting someone to come and talk to these kids has really been a problem, because I cannot be the teacher teaching them the syllabus through the week. Then I'm also the person who is going to mentor them. So there's a need to have professional people and counselors who are volunteers who can help us to tackle this challenge.
We've done a lot in terms of trying to guide the students to avoid engaging in drug abuse. We can also bring in professional guidance and counselors to come and talk to these learners and give them advice. Though we've been giving them advice, but maybe professional advice, people who are professionals in that field. And I would advise the learners that we have to do what they enjoy doing.
Over the years, we have maintained the total number of kids to be at a maximum of 400. This is the number that we can comfortably serve without depleting the resources available. And due to that fact, the school has served over 5,000 kids since it started. We have limited space at the school. We are a little bit squeezed in because this space is serving the primary school and also is the same space that is serving the secondary school. We are wishing maybe to get a larger space, maybe in future, so that at least we can cater well for the education needs of our kids.
So we invite anybody that wants to hold hands with us in this great work of the Lord. And I know if they do so, the Lord will bless them very much, so that we can push this work and bring it to a place whereby kids passing through here may be self-reliant.